Hello and welcome to Wolf's Wall, an abstract visual novel about wondering what you are under the crumbling cover after escaping the society you grew up in. That's very interesting, so let's begin. Why do we need to look like wolves? I asked everyone one day. Because they're powerful, everyone answered. Once ruled over the weak, and so shall we. Why do we have to wear bows and crowns? I asked everyone. The chattering of everyone is very creepy. To tell if you're male or female, of course. Males wear crowns like our Alpha did. For they are crafting themselves in his image, and they need to find a bow to have a child with. You need a crown and a bow to create a child, everyone answered. Of course, it's probably one of those religious cults, because it definitely sounds like one. But what if I don't want to wear the bow? What if I wanted to wear a crown, or neither? What if I don't want a child? I cried. Everyone laughed. A child is a blessing, fantastic and hold responsibility for all bows. You give your life to him or her, like how you give your life to your flame, like how your flame will give his life to you, like how we give our lives to our Alpha. Yeah, and that kind of social construct thing needs to be done away with, because, yeah, you don't need to have a kid to have a fulfilling life. I mean, if you want to have it, by all means, have a child, but if you don't, it shouldn't be looked down upon, you know. And for a bow to wear a crown is to portray his blessing of you living under his light. If you don't give yourself to this blessing he has given you, then you are an ingrat for wasting the gift of our Alpha has given you, existence. How could you, after everything he has done for you? His path is always the path you are destined to walk down. There is no way to change it. I don't want to exist on a path I'll never be happy on. If that's how I'll always exist, then maybe I shouldn't exist, I never said. Here, we will always look after each other and love you with one single condition. So long as you keep wearing the wolf's wool he has given to all of us, I answered. Always look and act like us. Never stray from our Alpha's light. You will always be happy with us. Yeah, that's what they always want to make you believe, until you go out into outside of the little circle and realize, oh, this isn't how life is supposed to be lived, and I could actually have a much better life, and one that I get to choose, and not have the rules and expectations pushed upon me. Okay, I lied. You're okay, everyone replied. I replied, I'm okay. And I think over top it says, I hope I am. Everyone is chattering. I've been told of how life is a number of steps taken towards a destination. Where that is, you won't know. Maybe you do know. Who knows? After all, I've been told that the destination and the path to it could be life-threatening. So it's best not to stray far from where you're guaranteed safety. Very interesting art style, but I quite like it. And besides, any footprints will always be wiped away with our wolf's wool dragging behind us. That's okay, because we live in the bright lands always, never straying from our Alpha's eternal sun, so we don't need the footprints or the destination. Those steps always seem too dark under the lights anyway. That's what everyone always said, at least. Nobody knows when our way of living started. One day, a god Alpha stitched himself together from several different old and obsolete powers and gods. Just like the eternal sun, he crafted into his own image. Just like the walls that protect us. Man, if that's what the sun looked like, I'm definitely gonna have nightmares for weeks. He said he always loved the light, for it makes him happy to work tirelessly for us, like we always will do for him. But I wonder sometimes, did it always look like this? Could have sworn they looked really different in old books I've read, without wool even, but everyone swears that what we wear is correct. Was there a different sun before our eternal sun? Everyone swears that there has always been our sun. I think it looked different before. At least that's what some old books say, but what do these books know? But there are many things I don't know either. I don't know why my name is uncomfortable. Don't know why this protective wool is uncomfortable. Don't know why the comfort everyone tells me to believe in, that everyone told me would make me happy, doesn't make me comfortable or happy. I also don't know why I like to dance. Don't know why I don't dance though. Everyone has told me how much of a time waster it is. That I look too stupid when I try, so I don't anymore. I don't know who I am, despite the years I've lived. I don't know who everyone is. Because of this, maybe everyone doesn't know who everyone is either. Who is everyone? What is everyone? Am I everyone? I think I am. Look into the mirror and see the wool everyone wears reflected back to me. Protection that has helped me survive in the Briarlands for so long. And seeing the reflection looking back at me, reflection that I think looks like me, the way it reflects light from the window and into my eyes makes me feel happy. Yeah, I'm not. At times I made my body doing respectable work. Everyone loves pains and aches, internal and out. But also it's on my back, like in my worries. Makes it hard to step and dance when nobody's watching. Makes it hard to do anything I love or hated to do. Why does it hurt? It shouldn't hurt. I sleep like normal, like I typically do. But are my bad habits starting to tear me apart? Need to tire my questioning mind with scenarios I'll never see. And I embrace mumble spool to give my arms something to do so I don't sleep on them. I've also been accidentally sleeping longer than I should, and on waking up, I still feel tired. Have my everyday decisions and actions been wrong for the longest time? My shoulder blades are just now telling me. It's both my shoulder blades that hurt, or just one. Perhaps I toss and turn in my sleep. Don't know if I do, but I do sometimes find my wool staring at me from the ground. I guess I do move around sometimes. Maybe it isn't when I sleep, but what I do every day. Maybe I should stop hunching over my old books. Maybe I should find a better position to relax in. Maybe I should stop dancing in my home. Maybe I'm sitting in my chair wrong. Maybe I should dance straighter when I work. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I'll get better throughout the days. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I'll get better throughout the days. I say this every time I fall asleep. Then, after waking up one day, like every eternal day, find my shoulder blades in pain, my wool on the ground like always. When I pull up my wool, however, I notice all the rips and tears being pulled open by time and wear. How long was it like this? Did my wool always look like this? But I never saw anyone else's wool like this, I think. So when I awakened for the new, or the same day. Not quite sure which it is. Ask everyone about my wall. Everyone laughs. How silly, you're joking. It was not that weak. If it's falling apart, then you're not taking care of it enough. Incredible for you to destroy something that Alpha has so graciously given you. But I did take care of it. I never argued. Take care of it like you always said I should. If that's the case, is something wrong with me? Instead, I laugh along with them. I'm scared. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I'll get better throughout the day. That's what you like to tell yourself anyways. Bumper got splutter in the heart and the mind. Hopefully never on your body. Before you realize, you soon come across another bump. And soon you launch forward before you realize you are falling towards your shadow. And soon you can hide with that shadow shattering your body. And soon you're tired of being expelled in different intervals in different directions. Dusting the horizon with your remains, covering it all until light cannot reach the ground any longer. And then I wake up. Shoulder blades hurt, and the wall is on the ground again. Yeah, these things look cute yet terrifying at the same time. I stare into the glass eyes of the wolf that has been watching me sleep for who knows how long. Eternal sun from outside makes its plastic eyes glisten like they were wet with crying. Now I feel like crying. Is maybe all the reason why everything feels so uncomfortable? Or is it my fault for letting it become dust? For example, what happens to those who lose their wall? Why haven't I seen them in the Brightlands? Do they disappear? Is that disappearance what everyone calls death? I've only read about the concept of death in old books. Nobody has ever mentioned it in my entire existence. Someone happens to leave everyone's eyes for a long period of time, and the memory of their existence fades into the light. I remember one person, I think. I don't know. We were friends, I think. I think we played. I think we hugged. I think we did other things that made us laugh. But not like how everyone laughs at me. It was close to how crowns laugh to their bows, and we both had bows. Suddenly she was gone. Nobody will acknowledge her absence no matter what I say, no matter how vivid the memory of her is. So it's as if she was in my mind only, haunting me like an empty shroud. Will that be me? Will that be the end of... Will that be the end our Alpha decided for me? What a shame. Well, I haven't been able to find my flame yet, due to being so tired from working all day, each day. I can't stay damaged like this. Can't get new wool. Also, I cannot get caught without wool under the light's glare. Too scared to see what those eyes reflect back to me. So before I go to sleep for the day, my shoulder blades in pain, and with my itchy wool over my shoulders, think of the things I should do for my comfort. Think of the words everyone gave me before when I was distressed. You're okay. Okay. More okay than I could ever feel. Less than I actually feel sadder. And everything else is scribbled out. How nice. How wonderful. How terrifying. How awful. How the body is and how it acts. How others look at you and how they think before knowing you. What can you say? What can you do? Defend yourself? For what they may ask? because there are no sticks or stones hurting you. So, what exactly is hurting you? Words? Words can you never hurt. At least that's what they all say. It's all in your head. Everyone knows that what's in your head doesn't matter. At least that's the same combination of words they like to say, over and over, round and round, like a waltz where your feet are always getting stepped on. So you step away from their terrible lyrics and movements. So they scream. So you cry. So they reach. And so you're gone, far, far away from their prying words, into melody and silence. The words keep repeating and circling and wrapping around you, making you want to slow down, want to stay walking, but soon wrapped into a cocoon with your old tattered wool, baking underneath the heat sky and unforgiving sun. Want to keep going, you think. Need to keep walking, you want. You don't want to end it like this, you hope to yourself. Just want to exist without any discomfort or pain or sadness. And soon, waking in a room I don't recognize. I apparently was dreaming, or at least I hope that was a dream. Shoulder blades still hurt, but not as much as they did before. Rise from the cushions I've been resting on, feel dust and wool remnants that covered me now settling onto the ground. Upon seeing the particles fall and scatter around the air, I followed my gaze down to catch the wool's plastic eyes. Had my wool been on the ground this entire time? I seemed to answer with scorn reflecting in its eyes, reflecting also the cloudy sky outside. Good, I'm glad you're awake. Before I could put my wool back on, voice tinted with laughter jolts through me. I'm my visage under the soft, comfortable blanket. Look to the source, finding a large grin beaming at me. Oh, hi there. So glad you're okay. I can't believe you found someone from the Brightlands. Rarely get people from there. Do you happen to remember me? I'm from there too. Laughter isn't like everyone's laughter. This one makes me happy for some reason. Maybe? Answered timidly. Sorry, but I don't remember your name. I am. That's okay. I have one I like better. I'm Loud. Loud? It suits you well, I wanted to say, but I wasn't sure if that was rude or not. I admire their loudness. That's right. What about you? What's your name? Are you okay? I'm, Little sighs on the ground, still staring scornfully at me. Suddenly I feel like covering my entire existence in this blanket. So I try to find the right words. But I remember, everyone isn't here, and the glare from the eternal sun isn't on my back. For some reason, realizing this made me whisper quietly. I'm not okay. Yeah, sometimes it's okay to not be okay and allow yourself to cry and just sometimes let out some of that negative emotions, because bottling them up is not exactly a healthy way to cope with them. Because they eventually come out at some point, and if you kept them bottled up for a long time, once one crack forms, then many more cracks follow, until it finally breaks, and then it all starts spilling out. That explained what they knew to me while I got used to living in the colorscape. Whether this was true or not, they nor anyone else who came from the Brightlands could clarify, but it does make some sense after talking to some of the other people who live here. Alpha lied and manipulated everyone, created the eternal sun to burn non-believers who took off the wolf's wool he provided. Wool protected your skin from his sun. It was his way of controlling everyone to give him faith, which gives him power, gives him eternal life at the expense of one's life. Everyone now works eternally and believes in his forgotten promise. So the Brightlands came to be. But who really knows, since that was a long time ago? Gods probably don't exist. Perhaps it was an amalgamated god who stitched himself from other gods. Some rotten people at some point messed everything up for all, and generations had to pay for their consequences, all to survive in the heated landscape. Either way, the wool, the bows, the crowns, the artificial eternal sunlight, tiring work to a forgotten and misinformed ideal, is never needed in the first place. Made up ideas, made up morals, made up values can make false gods everyone can believe in, apparently. Yeah, and unfortunately, people follow it too closely. As much as they want to believe that they're good people and will go to a better afterlife or whatever, yeah, makes them very deluded and close-minded and actually not that great of a person as they think they are. But when everyone made rules based on those ideals, when those morals and values you took to mind and saw were faulty at best, manipulation at worst, what can you do? I don't know how I did it, but many other people from the Brightlands who live here told me about how hard it was to escape the harsh glare, the Alpha's eternal sun, when they left. Yeah, I can't imagine having to start your life anew after being in such a cult and just a horrible living environment. So, was that what happened to you? Asked aloud while we did our walk at this time of day called at night. They laughed in response, making me smile even if they can't see my face. Yep, I'm sure you know all too well, but living there and living under bows and crowns is so suffocating. It took a while to get away from them, but I did, and you did too. Look to the sky, clouds still swirling around like they did when I first woke up. It's calming, like the harsh light at home, or I guess what used to be home. Yeah, I did. It's just, I never thought it was possible to live without the wool, or at least with different covers and different names than what's given to you. Well, they never gave us any other possibility. Never thought I could light my smile and my own body until I ditched the wool and came here. Suddenly look at me, warmth and light from the homes and landscape flickering in their excited eyes like sparks. Hey, was there a specific moment when you decided to say, fuck this shit, I'm out? What led up to that moment? The person I talked to had a story to tell. That was interesting, though. Points to a worn wool still on my shoulders. Curious why you're still wearing that thing. You know you don't need to, right? I like to see what you look like without the cloak. Wait, what did they just say? Did I hear that right? Are they flirting with me or being nice? Because that means something very specific and... oh shit, what the fuck do I say back? Man. Spam the shit out of the keyboard. I like this nice little, break in the dark and depressing story we've read so far. But keyboard smash. Sheepishly fall silent and grit the worn-out wool still covering me. I think to deflect my dumb imagination and answer the question of what made me finally leave the Brightlands, but I don't really want to think back to it or elaborate more than I liked. Still though, did I hear them right, or am I being really stupid right now? Oh, best to just ask them outright. But yeah, still baby steps. Especially if you're still going through a lot of shit, and going through stuff like that can, brings a lot of trauma and wounds with it, so trying to heal from that, it takes a while. At least I would imagine so. I think Loud sensed my panicked hesitation because they laughed nervously to break the tension my assailant brought. Thank goodness they can't actually see my burning face, but something about their nervous laugh made my face more unbearably hot. I'm really sorry if I made you uncomfortable. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine too. You can come out of your wool whenever you feel comfortable. I don't want to force you to do something you don't like, since that's all we've really done in the Brightlands. Loud laughs again, probably to help dispel the awkward air. Feel bad. Made the air like this, but I'm glad they're not pressuring me. Really though, living there and living under bows and crowds is so suffocating. Oh goody. I'm really glad you made it here. When I heard them call me that, my breath caught in my throat. Face feels like it's on fire. It's better a quick response without thinking or pausing. You don't need to call me that. Good, it's fine. That pauses, probably trying to praise my jumbled sentence. Huh? Does it make you uncomfortable? I'm sorry if it does. I'll stop doing it then. I know, I feel really bad now. I didn't actually want them to stop, so try to say something, anything to correct this somehow. No, wait, I didn't want you to stop calling me that. I went blank and I feel absolutely frustrated with myself. I wait for a response patiently, surprisingly not mad with how I am right now, but with a gentle yet nervous smile that's encouraging me to take my time. Look to the cloudy sky, hoping the swirls will help me in the more I stare at it instead of staring at the lights, highlighting the colourful city. Find the words I want to say, hoping they're able to get what I want across. I'm sorry. Still not used to hearing my new name yet, let alone a nickname. Say this embarrassed. I really talked much in the Brightlands, since it could be seen as a time waster. Now my lack of being able to communicate to another person, let alone the kindest person I care most about, is starting to bite me in the ass. Loud hums thoughtfully while I think silently about what to say next. I'll start calling you Goody then, you say with a smile, till you get used to Good, or even if you decide on a different name. Oh no, I mean, I never said you couldn't use Goody, I murmured shyly. This causes them to blink, still smiling but very visibly confused. I elaborate further. You can still call me Goody if you want, but only you. I'm just not used to it yet, so it feels kind of weird. Doesn't this contradict what I said earlier? Think fearfully. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do I understand what I'm saying? Are you sure? I don't want to call you something you don't like, they asked softly. Still trying to ensure they're not angry with me, but in fact trying to understand. Only if it's you, nobody else, assure them. I'll tell you if I want a different name. I know you'll be fine with that. Loud smiles at me. Sounds good to me. I laugh at the joke, a wave of comfort and happiness washing over me. Loud laughs too. We continue our way home. Despite the new comfort and newfound happiness, however, I didn't want to admit I'm still scared to take off the wool. After all, what would the others in the colorscape think of it if they saw me for who I truly am? Not even I know what that looks like, and it's terrifying to imagine something so unknowable. But then again, am I really a part of them if I keep wearing this remnant of a society that didn't want them? Am I betraying them if I stay here with them? What does comfort actually feel like? I want to ask. Never felt comfortable ever in my life, so what would it be like to live life so unlike what I'm used to? But instead of asking and not wanting to bother them with my inane thoughts, I stay silent instead. The aches in my shoulder blades still hurt. Despite this, I actually want to move around a lot more than I used to. Talk to the kind of people who live here. But if I move too much, then my wall will fall apart. I've also heard what other people in the colorscape say about me. Not many things, but I heard a few say what they think about. That I don't look like them. That I'll never be like them. That's the thing I went through, not enough compared to them. Ugh. Yeah, I hate people like that. They always gotta fucking one-up you. You had something bad, they've had something worse. Yeah, those people can go fuck themselves, honestly. There's some who are kind to my dilemma though. Some even don their own shrouds that they either made or edited to their liking. Many different patterns and wools and fabrics I've never seen before. Some have even offered me their own colourful shrouds to wear when they say how mine was falling apart, or saw how mine was falling apart. But I declined them. After all, I don't know if I am enough to wear those beautiful colours. What if I stop liking those colours? What if I accidentally destroyed it like I did my wool? After all, I'm not like them, I think. But I'm not like everyone either, I think. I hope. But will I ever be enough if I take this thing off? I probably won't. It's the same if I keep wearing it. I'm too scared to take it off. Crossed the wall closer. It's now making my skin irritated, and some small clumps filling my lungs. Comfort is all I never had. All I've ever known, all I can actually predict. If I lose it now, the new things that will come my way could be worse than I feel right now. After all, that's how I feel right now. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing of dealing with emotions like that. You get too comfortable, especially like for myself with anxiety and depression, you get into a routine of doing the same thing over and over, and it's the only thing you think can make you feel comfortable and safe and whatnot, and then having to go out and do all these new things, it can be scary, and yeah, you can't know for certain whether it's going to be good or bad, or yeah, it can be very overwhelming. Maybe I shouldn't have left, but was I even happy when I was there, where everyone could see me? Maybe I shouldn't have come here. Then I wouldn't have met Loud, the kind of people who live here. Maybe I should take off the wool. Then my fingers will always be seen, always be jagged, always never enough. Maybe I shouldn't take off the wool, but then I'm always going to feel like this, look like this, so uncomfortable. Maybe I shouldn't exist. Existing is always going to be uncomfortable like this, but what does comfortable look like? Existing was always going to be awful like this. Being looked at by other people is always going to make me feel like this no matter who they are, then... Hey, are you in here? I hear Loud's voice, but I don't move from my bed. I pretend to be asleep. Seem to be only comfortable when I'm here in the darkness. I wish I could stay here for a little while longer. I know you've been feeling down for a while, but I'm really worried about you, you say to me, gently. Would you like to go on a walk with me? Talk it out if you want to, or no talk if you don't want to. I didn't reply. Hey, I know you're awake. I know you can hear me. Al says a little more firmly, but, well, if you don't want to join me, it'll be a shame that you can't see how gorgeous the moon is. Shits in a blanket, now curious. The moon still exists? Huh? Oh, right. It was always sunny then. It's been really cloudy here since she came. Yeah, it never was destroyed. Just obscured since the sun at home was always up. Clouds have been clearing up and we can probably see it tonight. I hadn't seen the moon in old books, so it didn't intrigue me enough to sit up in bed. Thought for a bit, wondering if I should stay in the comfort of my bed. Awkward loud, but before I could do anything, I laughed shyly and start towards the door. If you don't want to walk, that's fine. Alpha will always be there though. In a panic I call out, wait, no, I'm sorry, I do want to walk with you. Al turns to me, surprised and confused. Sorry for what? There's nothing to apologize for. Looked down to the blanket sheepishly. Well, I guess taking so long to do anything. I guess I used to talk too much, so I want to think about what to do or say. Sat down next to me and placed a hand atop of one of mine. I was clutching the worn wool, smiling and chuckling. That's funny, because I don't think you talk enough. Shame on them for making you feel like that about yourself, because I'd like to hear more from you. Yeah, we definitely need more people like Loud in the world. Smile under the cloak, unsure of what to say, loosening my grip on the wall, all swollen, enough to hold their hand. I've heard of how the moon is a harmonious suggestion in the old books I like to read, whether it's present or new. Suggestion of light always seems to come through and hit the earth in a way that's unlike the eternal sunshine I'm so used to. Always then suggested that if the moon didn't exist, then the world would have some semblance of harmony. However, that's all the things I know about the moon changing. Don't know much of it after all. Nobody really did, since to us it had been gone for hundreds of years. Even then, everything I could say about the moon would be original, since everyone then had seen it, and had said all they can. Sure, what I just stated has been stated before, but starting to finally see it. Loud and I walk around while glancing up at it, and each other as we walk to a high hill overlooking the colorscape. Sitting here, we stare at it, silent in thought and spoken word. Even under the uncomfortable wool, this is the most comfortable, peaceful silence I've ever experienced in my life. After some time watching it rise higher and seemingly change colors, Al turns to me and distills the silence. You know, there's going to be a dance soon, sometime next week. Well, yeah, I've heard others talk about it. I saw someone ask their partners to do it. Or to it. Sounds nice. Never been to a dance before. Al tears their gaze away from the moon to look at me, surprised. What, really? Even the Brightlands? Thought they frequently had dances or some excuse of a celebration. Continued to stare at the moon, too nervous to meet their gaze. Yeah, they did. Was too busy to do anything outside of work. Going to those events always made me nervous anyway. Usually those dances were for crowns to find their bows, but after hearing how everyone talked about my dancing before I could go to one, I decided to go to one simply vanished. What about this one? Do you want to go? Not us. But did they sound nervous just now, or was that my imagination? I think for a moment and wanted to say yes, since I'm curious as to how different this one is compared to the ones I've seen from a distance. But all prickling at my back made me remember the words of the few live here. I don't know. Probably not. I mean, nobody has asked me to dance, and I'm not a good dancer anyways. Sigh a breath of relief. Relief? For what? Well, want to practice dancing with me? I'll be your partner. Let me jump out of my wall and try to spur some coherent response. Wait, huh? What? Why? I smile with a big, beautiful smile. Not wanting to look like an idiot while staring at them, stare directly at the moon instead. Because I want to practice dancing with you. They say this so simply, so happily, so confidently that it makes this request seem like not a request, but instead a prophecy that needs to be fulfilled. Huh? Me? Wait, why? Why me? I blubber in disbelief. There's a lot of people in the Colorscape who would love to dance with you. Because I want to practice dancing with you, I answer with a smile. But I don't know how to dance. Please step on your feet and hurt you, I reply in a panic. At last, pretty sure you won't kill me. If you do, well, I'll be glad I died because I was dancing with you. But, I argue, it'll be hard to dance with my wall. For you, I mean. You had to deal with it too. Smile wider, still laughing. I'll figure out a way. I was at a loss of words. An argument at this point. Can reply with, I can't. It'll work out. You'll see. But what if it doesn't work out? What if I make a fool of myself? I make a fool out of you, I cry. Finally frown at me concerned. So, what if you make a fool out of yourself? What would happen then? Stay silent. Think of the multiple possibilities and multiple eyes leering at me, wondering why I can't do anything right to their expectations. How much of an outsider I am, how putrid and ugly my wall is, how I don't look like them and may never look like them, but what do I even look? Don't actually know what will happen, the answer, breaking me out of the spiral. Back into the moonlight. You don't know if it won't work out, but you also don't know if it will work out. I can't refute what they're saying, but I don't know what to say. There's many things I could say, such as how much I appreciate how gentle and kind they are with my indecisiveness, considering how much time they wasted on me and my insecurities. But the only thing I managed to utter in this maelstrom of feelings was a very small, I'm sorry. Huh? Sorry for what? I asked. Nothing to apologize for. Not wrong, but I still feel bad and feel the need to apologize. For being dumb, I guess. They sat down next to me and placed their hand atop of one of mine. I was clutching the wall, smiling and chuckling. Don't worry. Pretty fucking stupid too. Also dance pretty stupid too, so you could just look like fools together if you're still nervous. Laugh and they laugh. I laugh harder and they do too. Making me laugh hard enough tears fall out of my eyes. Loosen my grip on the wall enough to hold their hand. And with my hands and my tired body now preoccupied with something else than keeping it together, all finally fell from my shoulders. Dusty little thump. Not laughing out of surprise, unsure what to do. But I was surprised at several things at that moment. Sure legs no longer hurt. Moonlight air tasted so sweet, sweeter than I ever imagined. Was that because of the laughter we filled the air with? Because the dust from the now unwearable wall has settled. We stare at it, the wolf's eyes staring up at the moon. Then I see the wolf's glittering glass eyes. Suddenly get ideas of what to finally do with it. Dance with the wall, or dance on the wall, with the wall, or dance with my partner. Fuck it, let's dance on the wall. Moments almost felt dreamlike. Perhaps in the moment I was truly in a dream. Realized how much I've always wanted to do this. If I happen to wake up from this dream, in the future I'll make this my reality. Because seeing the thing you used to be wither into nothing works something within you. Soon, you've taken your first steps and seen the dust beneath your feet glitter, and sparkle in the moonlight made you want to see it move. So you begin kicking, so you begin jumping, and so you begin spinning and dragging into a brand new song and dance that makes you so elated to see it become a part of the ground. I suppose the more you dance, the more you smile, the more you laugh, and the happiness within that dust scatters like a newly cleaned room. Seems like what you needed. Now that you're not burdened by anything anymore, dust begins to dance with you. Partner smiles, happy to see you like this. Tall coughing under the stardust and moon forces you to stop and breathe for a moment. In our bodies, there lives not only us, but the other things that affect our reality. Perhaps there is only blood and pain beneath our skin, but there is more beneath each body part than you think there is. In your throat, right where your heart is a voice. Throughout the years, it changes and shifts, vibrating and never truly staying still for all the breaths you take and you give. When you say something, it stretches and elongates, it shortens and contracts, making all kinds of sounds that shift throughout your time. What is it you want to say? What is it you want to speak? To whom do you direct your precious air that you have a limited amount of? Somewhere near your heart, you can feel an answer rise each and every time you try to talk. Different occasions, different contexts, in different shapes and forms. What about the sounds that feel wrong? When they come from your throat and into the air, they smell wrong. Everyone around you could smell it as well. Sometimes you couldn't smell it, but can recognize that some of the stench from others later in life. Sometimes that stench leaves the older you get, and sometimes it rots into something worse. And when those awful smelling sounds come out, how do you clear the air? Or do you keep the atmosphere like that? Or do other people thrive in that kind of air, like oxygen and nitrogen, and all the gases that make us live despite poisoning us as well? Poison you once spoke never truly fades, for all the scars the acid creates may last a lifetime. Even after the air gets better, even after learning to stretch your vocal cords in a certain way, even after all the apologies and the actions to reinforce new words that make the poisonous words weak, things you say can leave such an impact even after you've forgotten what you ever said. Almost as if gods reside in your throat, people will carry those words you say until they graze, till your own grave. Even when your grave is affixed with admiration for an eternity that will never know who you are. What are you doing? What do you need to do? What are you saying when the sun sets and the moon rises? Right. You're wasting the time you wanted to waste here. Your partner holds you, worried, but brightens like light when they see you smile at them. You need to get up, you told yourself, and keep walking with them. And so I did, leaving behind footprints in dusty landscape. That was Westworld. that was a really nice one. It definitely had some important messages in that. Because, yeah, unfortunately, life here on Earth is definitely not easy. It can be very difficult, and especially with certain people that are not the greatest. But, yeah, and then there's the whole thing about trying to live up to everyone's expectations and the whole societal norm thing, like trying to get married and have kids, to like how you dress and present yourself even. But yeah, but no matter how hard you try, you'll unfortunately never please everybody, because unfortunately there will always be one person who hates you no matter what you do, no matter how good of a person you have presented yourself to others and whatnot. Yeah, there's always terrible, terrible people. But yeah, with that, I guess I'll be ending it here. I know there were supposedly a couple more endings for this, but you guys can go and find that for yourself and go and read it if you're in the mindset to do so. But yeah, with that, yeah. But yeah, we'll be ending it here then. Yeah, this is a really nice visual novel. Definitely a lot of emotions with it, and yeah, very deep message and very depressing, but fortunately it is the reality of our world, unfortunately. But yeah, it was very well written, and really loved the art styles. Sometimes cute and sometimes a little bit creepy, but well, overall it's very nice. But yeah, with that, I'll be ending it here. And remember, you are important, and you are enough. If not anyone, then be it yourself. And yeah, be safe out there.